Hey everyone, this is Mike Bonn with the Cash Flow Company, and today we're going to go over one big item that's coming up with LLCs and DSCRs. Just spoke to a client this week, was quoted from another company, a DSCR loan, which I thought was quite high, quite ridiculous, at 9% and 3 points. So yes, that's a 9% interest rate, 3 points. He was getting a cash out at 70% on a remodeled property that is already rented. His biggest hurdle was that his credit score went down. He started this whole project at 720, and then he took all of his money, put it into the project, started from scratch, and now he needs his money back. But his credit score has gone down, like I said, from a 720 to a 679. That plummet has cost him a couple points in interest rate and definitely a couple points on origination, a very costly loan. So we set it up. We were going to fix it with a usage loan, which means we were going to do a private loan to pay off his credit cards. And once we paid off those credit cards, then his credit score would go back up because his only problem was usage, which means he was using all of his credit to fix this up. When credit reports look at your usage, how much of your credit you are using that you have available. So he had $30-some thousand in usage on his credit cards and only had $35,000 available on that credit. That high usage brought his credit score way down. So we thought we fixed this whole issue by just doing a short-term $30,000 loan, pay off those credit cards, get his credit score back up, get him a rate of, when we were looking at this, it was about 7.625 on a 30-year fix compared to the 9 that he was quoted and a half a point origination. So that all sounded good, but here's what came up after that. He told us all along that he owned the properties, that it was his property. And when we got to ordering title and everything, he goes, well, it's in an LLC, which is fine, which is great for DSCR loans. Then he came with, but my partner has 40% of the LLC. When you're doing a DSCR loan or even partnerships and other loans, the companies that are giving you the money are going to look at everyone's credit scores based on their ownership. Some are 5% ownership. So if someone owns 5% or more of the LLC, they're going to look at their credit. And some are up to, like, they have to at least own 50%. So you have to check around, make sure. But if someone owning 40% of an LLC, they're going to require, at least in our case, looking at their credit. And unfortunately, his partner's credit score was even worse than his. So he went from looking at getting 9% and 3 points, bringing him down to 7.75 and a half a point. All looked good, all looked easy with this usage loan, and then the big bomb. So watch when you are setting up and who you have in your LLC when you're going to finance, because they're going to look at everyone's credit score. And guess what? They're going to look at the person with the lowest credit score in that group, in that LLC, to determine your rate and your loan to value. You want to make sure you're not caught off guard, that you're not someone who thinks they're going to get the rate that they were quoted just to find out later that they're going to look at everyone or most people in that LLC. Be careful not only with your own credit, but everyone's credit that's in that LLC. So in this case, what we're talking about with him is maybe moving that person off the LLC while we do the usage loan, give it a month or two so the lender can see it's just in his name. Once it's just in his name, we can just use his credit score and get the better rate. But it's going to take a little bit of time because it's tough to get someone off an LLC and not show it in the state records. There are a little bit of hurdles. There's always ways to get through it. Like in this case, we used a usage loan on his credit cards, paid those off, got his credit score up, and now he's going to be able to do a cash out as long as we eliminate the other borrower, his other member on the LLC who's driving down the credit score. Now, I thought this was important because I see it more and more. People put LLCs together. One person may have the credit, one may have the experience. But whatever it is, when you're looking at this, make sure you're talking to your lenders up front and making sure there's no roadblocks. If there's any stumbles that are coming up, you want to make sure you don't hit those right when you're trying to get, like him, try to get his cash out to do the next project. We're always here to answer your questions. Anything on DSCR, fix and flip, any kind of loans in the investor world, just reach out to us. We have our links below. And if you're looking for the best rates on DSCR, we're here to help. Once again, our contact is below. Any questions or just looking for a great rate, we're here to help you at the Cash Flow Company.